What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Becoming Me, Discovering You. I'm Quan, and I'm so excited to have you here with me today. As you know, this podcast is all about navigating our unique journey of self discovery, healing, and growth. So, on today's episode, we're diving into a topic that has been extremely transformative in my own life, and that's the art of reflection. So, let's get into it. So, with reflection is something that we often hear about a lot when you're on a self discovery journey or self awareness journey, but I don't always know how to practice it effectively. I know it's something that I struggle with a lot, yet it's something that I also feel is one of the most powerful tools for self awareness and growth. So, I do want to talk about what it means to reflect, how to do it, and why it's essential on our journey to becoming our truest selves. So, with self reflection, what is it? Like, what is self reflection when you think about it? What is your definition? Now, for me, it's the core, it's at its core. Reflecting is taking a step back, looking at our experiences, thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It's about understanding the why behind those actions and the what behind those emotions that we have. It's not just thinking about what happens, but we need to dig a little deeper to find the meaning behind it all. Have you ever had times where you reacted to something and then later on you were sitting at home and you was thinking like, why did I even do that? There was that's where reflection come in. It helps us understand what triggers us. It helps us understand patterns that we have, and it helps us respond. It helps us understand our responses. But it's also more than just analyzing those things. It's also about learning and growing from those moments and those things as well. For me, reflection is like holding up a mirror to my soul, and sometimes I see beauty. Sometimes I see a lot of pain. But in all of it, I see truth, hard truth. But the truth is what helps me grow. It helps me become the person that I want to be. It keeps me on the path of my self discovery, my figuring out what my true purpose, God given purpose is. And it helps what makes me make better decisions in life, set healthier boundaries, and allow my life to again be closely to who I truly want to be and who I truly am meant to be and who I was made to be. But I do want to also talk about, sorry y'all, but I do also want to talk about the tools that we need to actually practice reflections. These are things that I feel made it helpful for me, and I would love to share with you. So the first one is journaling. And when I say I love to write, I love to write. But when I write something down, I always make sure I write down my thoughts so I can reflect on those, go back and read through how I felt, what made me feel that way. And that's when I can take the time out to ask questions like, why did that make me feel that way? Why did I react that way? What can I take from this situation to not have that same reaction or not have that same, those same feelings? And that's what I get. I get a lot out of when I journal and when I write. I not only write down my feelings, my thoughts and all of that, but I also write down my prayers because I feel like it's more effective for me when I write it. Because when you write, you read as well. So when I'm writing my prayers down, it helps me feel like I'm just, more connected to God. But another way that I do feel like is a good way to help you on that, the art of reflecting helps with you reflection is meditating, taking some quiet time for yourself. Sometimes just sitting with your thoughts without any distractions, and allowing them to process. It helps with you. I'm so sorry, y'all. But allowing you to process things in a way that you can't when you are constantly going somewhere, you constantly have distractions, or you're, trying to put it off or whatever. In those quiet moments, is gives you time to get into deeper truths that can be often revealed within yourself or to yourself when you're sitting and taking that time to just reflect quietly. And again, I like to take my quiet time when I journal. Like when I write down in my journal, I have no TV on. I don't listen to music. I don't have anything on. It's just me and my journal. And at that time, I do take the time. That's my quiet time. So I don't necessarily, when I say meditation, quiet time, I don't necessarily just, I have done it where I just sit and it's just quiet and I'm thinking. I have done that, but when I journal, that's when it's really my good quiet time. I can take the time to, like I said, ask those questions and see what I can learn from there. And that's when I take from there. That's when I find myself going to writing a prayer about it to God and asking God to help me, one, figure out how to better control those triggers and change those patterns that I want to change. So I always find myself taking it back to God so he can help me and guide me through this journey, because like I've been telling y'all the whole time, me personally, I don't feel like I could make it on this journey without him. Now, he is, for me, he is the step. He's not the first. He's the first step and the last step. So in each of these steps, I feel like God is with me. So that's why I don't have it to like, oh, this is the step 2 for God. But anyways, finally, my last tool and advice that I would like to give to y'all is taking some time out with other people that you trust. You can have a friend that you can, talk about stuff, let them know your feelings, and especially those people, like I have a cousin that I can just talk about, tell her how I feel, tell her how I reacted because somebody made me feel that way. And when you say stuff out loud, sometimes you hear like, that was really stupid. I've said stuff out loud and be like, you know what? That was so stupid. Why did you say that? Why did you even do that? And that's a good tool to also have. But when you have these conversations, the most important part of the conversation is someone you can trust, someone that has your best interest in mind. Not somebody that you feel like they got a underhand motive and you feel like they're gonna use this against you or whatever. For me personally, I'm at the stage now where I've weaned all those people out of my life. So everybody that I have in my life, that's somebody that I know I can talk to, I know I can trust, and I know that's going to be like, Quan, why you did that? Now, that was crazy. You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't feel this way or whatever. So those people help me realize like, yeah, you're right. I might have should have did it a different way. I didn't really see it that way until you said that. So those conversations can be really reflective and they can help you along they can help you. It's an asset to on that reflection. I can't even get that out, but it's having those conversations, meditating and journaling are 3 ways that I feel can help you while you're reflecting within yourself. That's what I was trying to say, tongue tied. So anyways, why is reflecting so important to me? Well, I think personally without reflection, we're just going through the motion. We're reacting instead of responding. Some people, they listen when they say, what's the saying? I may have it wrong. If I do, please correct me, y'all. But you're listening to respond. You're listening to respond or something like that. You're not listening to respond. You're just listening to talk. Something like that. I don't know. But anyways, that's how I feel like when you're reflecting, you're not taking the time out to actually respond to these actions. You're just reacting instead of taking the time to think like, okay, instead of doing this, I need to do this. I need to do it that way. And that is something I really wanted to change about me, because I always reacted. I never really responded to anything, especially my emotions. Like I said, I can, I don't know, my friends categorize me as the tough chick. You know what I mean? Like, you so hard, like, why you gotta be that way? But I am hard on the outside, but if you play with my emotions, that's when that reaction used to come out. So I had to take the time to say, okay, I'm giving these people that no, and I'm very vocal on, don't make me feel this way, because it's going to make me react this way. So I do try to let people know that. And when I let you know that and you still make my emotions, you playing with my emotions, I'm going to react. Well, I used to just react. Now I don't have time for that. If you do it one too many times, I'm not going to keep giving you my energy to upset me. So I'm gonna cut you off, and that's just where I'm at with that. And I'm not trying to rebuild nothing and figure nothing out, because right now I feel like I'm not strong enough for that. Because if I let you back in and you keep doing the same thing, I'm gonna fall back to who I used to be. God's still working on me. He ain't done yet. So because I know he's not done, I've taken upon myself to I'm just cutting them people out. And I found myself, I was just letting life happen. Like, I wasn't doing anything. I was just getting up, going to work every day, and, paying the bills, which is regular life. But I really wasn't happy. Like, I really wasn't. I knew it was something else out there that I wanted to do. I knew it was another passion that I had. I really had to figure out what my passion was. And no lie, if I have to do my podcast and have a regular job the whole time I do my podcast, I am okay with that. And that's because I look forward to doing my podcast. I look forward to recording. I look forward to giving advice and letting y'all know how this crazy ass journey I got going on over here going. I like hearing that an episode touched somebody. Like, when somebody tells me that, I was just told on my last episode, if y'all haven't tuned into that, make sure y'all listen to that one after this one. But anyways, somebody told me on my last episode that they really loved my episode, and just hearing that somebody connected to something I had to say, it's like, it's validation for me. And it's like the small validations. I don't need big validations from people, because trust me, I'm gonna celebrate myself. But it's always that validation to know that, okay, I'm doing something right. So instead of me just letting life happen, I decided I was going to be active and change that. So instead of just getting up, going to work every day, I got everything. I knew I wanted to do podcasts, and because I knew I wanted to do that, and it's the same thing with me wanting to do YouTube. I have a YouTube channel where I make candles. If y'all didn't know, I love to make candles. So I like to make candles. I like to help people, and I know it's other people that's out there that want to make candles. So because I like doing all of that, my thought was, let's go ahead and we're going to do a YouTube channel. So I got everything, and instead of me just actively making sure I create the content I need for YouTube, create the content I need for my podcast, I was just doubting myself, like, oh, nobody's gonna listen, nobody's gonna care what I have to say. And really and truly, that might be the all God honest truth, that nobody really don't care. But I do know it's somebody out there that does. Even if it's just one person that I help learn how to make a candle, I help that one person. Even if it's just one person that connected to what I had to say on my podcast, I help that person. And I'm okay with that. And I already know, like I said, if I have to keep going to work, I have to keep going to work. That's what I got to do. I love my regular job too. Don't get me wrong now. Don't I hate it. I just know that's not something I want to do for the rest of my life. But I love what I do. So I decided to be active, and with being more active with that, it meant doing what I really love to do. And that's recording these podcasts like I'm doing right now, and also making YouTube videos, which I'm probably going to do after I finish recording this episode. But if y'all want to see more of that, I will leave a link below, or y'all can head over to my Instagram and it'll be a link over there for that as well. But I'm gonna get back on topic of reflection. So anyways, reflection is what allows us to learn from our experiences, and it also helps us not only learn, but we make better decisions and make better choices moving forward. That's what helps us grow. When we know when we start reacting the exact same way each time, and we keep getting the same result, so something has to change. So when you finally make that change on, I'm gonna stop letting that trigger me, and that's part of reflection. Now, in my own journey, I have found it that the more I reflect, the more I start to really understand myself. I really found that I used to think that I was like, I love to be around people. Like, I do love people. Don't get me wrong. I do. I enjoy being around people. I enjoy, like I said, making people laugh. I enjoy having good conversation with people. But I really learned that I enjoy having my peace. I enjoy the quietness of my house. Like they say, I think it was a meme I seen one time. It said, "Where you at? I'm in the house enjoying my rent." Like, that's really what I like to do. And it's not being standoffish to people or I block people out, because I like being around people still. But I really found that I like the balance of just being at my house, being able to be peaceful. I really love being at peace. I feel like if anything is going to break that peace, I don't want to be a part of it. And because I'm still learning and I know God still ain't finished with me yet, I know it's still a lot of stuff that I need to learn to be able to control having my peace and not allow outside stuff disturb that. So for right now, I'm really enjoying being with myself. That goes back to that quiet place meditation. And sometimes my quiet place is like watching ID channel all day. That's my quiet place, or HGTV. That's my quiet place. But that's stuff that I like to do on top of journaling, just being by myself, being able to reflect by myself, be able to not have, I really like not having that outside noise all in my ear. So that's really that's really what I really started to learn about myself, is that I really like being by myself. And the more I understand myself, the more I can align my life with my purpose. And that's, again, what I'm learning while I'm by myself, is that I really do like encouraging people. And I find that it's crazy. I figured that out. Like, I was always that friend that liked it, my other friends to call me when they having issues. Not saying that's what I seeked out for, but when if my friends are going through something, I like to talk to them and I like to motivate them, to let them know, like, you still that person regardless of what you're going through at this moment. You still gonna make it. We can pray about it, or I'm gonna pray about it for you. I'm gonna motivate you. I'm gonna talk you up. I'm gonna make sure that by the time you get off this phone, I'm a bad bitch and I'm gonna be able to take over the world. And because I want to be able to empower my friends with that, because I have to remind myself, I have to empower myself all the time. Now, I have my friends as well. They do the same thing to me. And I say my friends, I have a cousin, another girl that's my friend, and then I got I have another one. I have two best friends and my cousin. So those are my friends. It's 3 people, y'all. It's not a group. But anyways, that group of women or young ladies or whatever, they encourage me, and I feel like I encourage them. I do feel like I get a little preachy on them sometimes, but I just like to have the best for them. I want them to have the best in life for themselves. I want them to be able to enjoy the world. Like, what I'm seeking, I want them to be able to seek that. I know I can't push that to them or force it on them, but I do like to let them know that on this journey that I'm on over here, baby, it's nice. We ain't worried about what we got going on the outside. It's real peaceful over here. And when you find that peace, you won't have to worry about none of this stuff we talking about. You just gonna keep it moving. So that has helped me not only understand myself, but really understand my purpose of what I like doing. So reflection, as I said before, reflection isn't always easy. It's something that means you gotta face some uncomfortable truths, but it's all worth it. My mama is a very brutally honest person. She gonna tell you straight up. She ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. She not gonna make sure your feelings ain't hurt. She just gonna tell you how it is with love. I'm not saying she gonna say it disrespectfully, but it's gonna be, you're gonna know it came from a place of love, but it's gonna be the truth. It's gonna be a truth that you probably wouldn't hear from an associate or even a close friend. Like my friends that I have, them 3 people that I have, they still ain't as honest as my mama is. So that's what I love about my mama. I love being able to have her in my corner for that, because I know she gonna tell me the truth when I'm just acting crazy. She gonna be like, that was stupid, you shouldn't have did it. And that's what I like. So I know and with being it made it easier for me too, to be able to face the truth and be able to be brutally honest with myself. Like, Quan, you put that on yourself. You caused you caused whatever, you know what I mean? I was able to be accountable because my mama has taught me how to accept being brutally honest. So when I started accepting being brutally honest to myself, that's when I was able to reflect, get on that process of reflecting, if that makes sense. I try to make it make sense. I'm sorry, y'all. But anyways, it is worth it when you do get to that point of facing those uncomfortable truths. They are worth it. Now, before I do wrap all of this up, I can't talk today. I'm so sorry. But before I wrap this up, I do want to leave y'all with a little challenge. So this week, I want you to take some time to reflect, whether it's through journaling, meditating, or just having a deep conversation with a friend. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this past week? What patterns did I notice? And how can I use this knowledge to grow? So that is something that I do want y'all to take the time out to do. I'll make sure it be in the comments, but that y'all can leave this in the comments below. I'll also try to come up with some type of poll for y'all as well. I do like to see y'all interacting. I love to see y'all answers, because I don't want to feel like I'm the only person that feels some type of way. So I do like to know how y'all feel. Y'all let me know how y'all enjoy these episodes or whatever. But anyways, I am going to go ahead and wrap up today's Instagram. I'm going to say Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. So y'all make sure y'all feel free to share y'all experiences with me on my Instagram. That's where I was going to get that from. But make sure y'all share your thoughts and feelings with me on my Instagram at becomingme_discoveringyou. Or you can also, as I said, leave a comment below on my podcast. Just remember, this journey is yours, and every step you take is a step towards becoming the person you're meant to be. Thank you so much for tuning in to Becoming Me, Discovering You. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe, share it with a friend who you think needs it, and leave a review. I'll catch you next time as we continue this beautiful journey together. Until then, take care, keep reflecting, and have a great day.